The feeling of loneliness in love can sometimes make us feel lost and confused, but have you ever considered that loneliness can be an opportunity to grow and love more genuinely? In modern life, many people seek love as a way to fill the emptiness inside, but could it be that when we understand ourselves and love ourselves, the feeling of loneliness will no longer be a fear? Let's explore how Stoic thinking can help you face the feeling of loneliness in love with strength and inner peace. Hello everyone, welcome to the Stoic Love Wisdom channel, a space where ancient Stoic philosophy sheds light on the path of love and personal development. If you're looking for ways to maintain emotional balance, overcome challenges in relationships, and find peace in the midst of the chaotic modern world, then this video is for you. In this video, we will explore how to face the feeling of loneliness in love. Let's discover the secrets and strategies from Stoic philosophy to build a strong and lasting love while gaining a deeper understanding of ourselves. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the latest insights. Now, let's begin. The feeling of loneliness in love is something most people have experienced. It's when you're in a relationship but still feel lost and alone. You might have a partner who loves you, but you feel like they don't truly understand you, or there's an invisible distance between you two. This can lead to insecurity, making you wonder if this relationship means anything and whether you're on the right path. Stoic thinking in love can be an escape from this feeling of loneliness. Stoicism isn't a philosophy that tells us to abandon love or deny our emotions. On the contrary, it encourages us to face reality calmly and rationally. This philosophy helps us understand that most negative emotions in love arise from our own thinking and how we perceive the relationship. According to Stoic philosophy, all emotions stem from how we react to the world around us, not from the world itself. Stoicism suggests that we often cannot control what happens to us, but we always have the power to control how we react. In love, the feeling of loneliness isn't an issue with the partner or the relationship itself, but with how we perceive it. We might feel lonely because we expect the other person to fulfill all of our needs or believe they should always be in sync with us in every aspect. However, Stoicism reminds us that no one can completely fill us, only we can bring completeness to ourselves. Having unrealistic expectations in love often leads to disappointment and loneliness. Stoic philosophy emphasizes accepting reality, meaning we should acknowledge our partner's strengths and imperfections. When we expect our partner to bring us complete happiness, we'll feel disappointed when they fail to do so. Stoicism teaches us that instead of expecting others to bring happiness, we should focus on building happiness within ourselves. If we can let go of the expectation that someone will complete us, we'll feel less lonely. Stoicism always stresses the importance of focusing on our inner self. This doesn't mean we abandon social relationships, but rather, it encourages us to become the best version of ourselves, which in turn helps us build healthier relationships. In love, if you can find joy and peace within yourself, you won't be dependent on the relationship to feel happy. A true Stoic knows how to enjoy an independent life, and from there, build a stronger and more sustainable love. Learn to enjoy personal hobbies, invest time in self-development, and find joy in the small things in life. When we know how to love ourselves, our relationships with others will also become healthier, and the feeling of loneliness will decrease. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. In love, you can't control how your partner feels about you or how they behave, but you can control how you react and feel. Loneliness sometimes comes from wanting to control things that are beyond our control. We want our partner to always be there, always love us, and always accompany us, but the reality is that no one can fully meet all our desires. Instead of forcing ourselves into these wants, let's focus on what we can change, our thoughts and attitudes. Stoicism always emphasizes the impermanence of everything, including emotions. When you feel lonely in love, remember that this feeling will pass, it is just a small part of your life journey. Instead of fearing or trying to eliminate the feeling of loneliness, accept it as a natural part of life. This feeling can help you look deeper into yourself and your relationship, helping you learn and grow. Stoicism advises us to create non-dependent relationships. This doesn't mean we're indifferent or unconcerned with our partner, but rather, it's about loving them freely and openly. When love isn't burdened by demands and expectations, we can love without dependence. Remember, love is a choice, not an obligation. When you love someone, love with an open heart, not demanding them to meet all your needs. This helps your love become stronger and less influenced by loneliness. An important part of Stoicism is learning to forgive. Sometimes, the feeling of loneliness in love comes from past mistakes or unresolved emotional wounds. Stoicism teaches us not to dwell on the past but to learn how to forgive and let go. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, but accepting and letting it pass. When you can forgive yourself and your partner, you'll feel lighter and better able to face loneliness with greater strength. Stoicism reminds us that life is never perfect, and neither is love. Instead of demanding a perfect, flawless relationship, seek meaning in your current relationship. Consider the values this love brings, the lessons you can learn from it, and your personal growth. When you can find meaning in every aspect of love, you'll find that the feeling of loneliness isn't so scary anymore. Instead, it becomes a part of the journey that helps you understand yourself and your partner more deeply. Gratitude is an important part of Stoic philosophy. When you feel lonely in love, it's easy to focus on the negative or what you don't have, rather than looking at the good things that are present. Instead, start with gratitude. Think of the happy moments you've shared with your partner, the small things they do for you. Even if the relationship isn't perfect, these things are still worth appreciating. By practicing gratitude, you'll feel more content with the current situation, and loneliness will fade. Stoicism emphasizes self-control and independence in all aspects of life, including emotions. A large part of the feeling of loneliness in love comes from emotional dependence on the partner. When we rely too much on the other person to feel happy or secure, we're more vulnerable and lonelier when they fail to meet those expectations. Remember, happiness can't completely come from the outside. You need to cultivate self-control and learn to manage your emotions. When you know how to adjust your feelings, you won't feel hopelessly lonely anymore. Loneliness is not always negative, it can also be an opportunity for self-development. Stoicism encourages us to use solitude as a time to reflect and improve ourselves. Instead of letting this feeling lead you into sadness, take advantage of it to read books, learn new things, develop personal skills, or pursue the goals you have always desired. By focusing on self-improvement, you will become a stronger and more attractive person. This will not only help you cope with loneliness but also make your romantic relationships richer and more resilient. Meditation is an excellent tool to confront the feeling of loneliness in love. Stoicism encourages us to maintain peace of mind, and meditation is a great method to achieve that. When meditating, you can observe your emotions without being carried away by them, thus reducing anxiety and feelings of isolation. Meditation helps you focus on the present, minimizing negative thoughts about the past and future. When you can maintain a calm and alert state of mind, you will find it easier to face loneliness without being overwhelmed by it. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes inner harmony. Sometimes, when we feel lonely, it's not because we truly miss someone, but because we lack a connection with ourselves. Stoicism teaches that we must learn to love ourselves and find peace within. Do not view loneliness as a punishment or a negative state. Instead, see it as an opportunity to grow closer to yourself and understand yourself better. Ask yourself questions like, what makes me happy? What is my true goal? When you can live in peace with yourself, the feeling of loneliness in love will also feel lighter. Stoicism does not encourage us to abandon love but warns against excessive attachment. When you become too attached to someone, you are more vulnerable and feel lonely when they are not around. To make love more sustainable and less dependent, love your partner but do not place all of your happiness in them. Keep a certain distance to maintain your own life. This does not mean being cold or lacking connection, but rather allowing both partners to have space to grow and mature. A healthy relationship is when you love the other person for who they are, not for what they bring to you. Stoic philosophy always reminds us that everything changes, including love. Part of the feeling of loneliness in love may come from the fear of loss or change. We fear that the person will no longer love us as before, or that the relationship will no longer be the same. Instead of fearing, accept change as a natural process. Every relationship has its ups and downs, and the important thing is learning to accept and adapt to them. When we are no longer haunted by the fear of change, the feeling of loneliness will diminish, and we will feel freer in love. Stoicism advises us not to compare ourselves to others because each person has their own life and journey. In love, comparisons can lead to loneliness and dissatisfaction. You may feel lacking when you see other couples happy or wonder why your relationship is different. Remember that every relationship is unique, and there is no perfect standard for love. When you stop comparing, you will feel more content with your current situation, thus reducing the feeling of loneliness. Finally, view loneliness as an opportunity to love yourself and others more. Loneliness in love is not a bad thing but a reminder that you always have the right to love yourself and create healthier love. When you learn to accept and love yourself, your love will also become richer. You will no longer be obsessed with the flaws in your relationship, but instead, you will appreciate and love your partner even more. One of the core principles of Stoicism is, amor fati, love your fate as it is. In love, this means accepting your relationship, even with its imperfections. The feeling of loneliness in love often arises from the expectation that everything should unfold the way we want. When you accept reality as it is, you will no longer feel the pressure to change or control your partner to fill the loneliness. You will learn to love and cherish the relationship, including those moments when you feel lonely. This not only helps you build peace of mind but also creates a more enduring and genuine love. Stoic philosophy not only encourages us to endure adversity but also to turn it into an opportunity for growth. The feeling of loneliness is an opportunity for you to explore the deeper aspects of yourself and redefine the meaning of love in your life. When you view loneliness as part of the journey to find meaning, you will see that it is no longer something to fear but rather a teacher. Loneliness can help you understand true love, love that is not dependent, and connection that is not obsessed with control. It is an opportunity for inner growth, to understand the value of love, and to know what you truly desire in a relationship. The feeling of loneliness often becomes more intense when the relationship lacks stability and sincerity. In Stoic philosophy, building a relationship based on intrinsic values is an important principle. When the other person loves and accepts you for who you truly are, not for your appearance or superficial traits, you will experience less loneliness. Build relationships based on mutual respect, shared values, and empathy. This helps create a sustainable relationship in which you can feel free to be yourself. When you do not have to hide or force any part of yourself, the feeling of loneliness will gradually fade away. Loneliness is not always caused by the other person but may be due to how we face the relationship. Stoic philosophy teaches us to be clear about our role and responsibility. Ask yourself, are there any unreasonable expectations you are placing on your partner? Or are you depending too much on them to feel safe and happy? When you reassess your role in the relationship, you will see what you need to change in order to improve the love without becoming overly dependent on the other person. From there, you will know how to address loneliness and find autonomy in love. Loneliness often arises when you focus on what has passed or worry about what has not yet come. Stoic philosophy encourages living in the present and looking toward the future with a positive mindset. Instead of dwelling on painful memories or worrying about an uncertain future, focus on self-development and building good relationships. When you live positively and look toward the future, the feeling of loneliness will gradually disappear, making way for optimism and belief in your love. You will realize that all difficulties are temporary and can be overcome if you always strive to build a better future. An important factor in confronting loneliness is learning not to get stuck in that emotion. When you are swept up by negative feelings, you can easily lose clarity and control. Stoic philosophy not only helps you be aware of loneliness but also provides a method for not letting it dominate you. Stoicism encourages you to view all emotions as part of the natural state of the human soul. Loneliness, like other emotions, will come and go. Instead of trying to avoid or hold on to it for too long, learn to accept it when it comes and let it go when it passes. This helps you maintain stability and emotional control, not allowing loneliness to dictate your actions or thoughts. Stoicism values developing independence in life, and this applies to love as well. The feeling of loneliness in love can be a sign that you are relying too much on someone else to find fulfillment. Stoic philosophy helps you realize that you can live a full and rich life without the need for validation or dependence on others. When you learn to develop emotional independence, you will not feel lonely even when your partner is not around. This freedom not only makes you stronger but also makes your relationship more equal and sustainable. You will love without demanding anything from the other, simply because you want to love and are capable of loving. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the development of intellect and self-awareness, and feelings of loneliness can be an opportunity to cultivate these skills. Instead of letting loneliness bring you down, use it as a time to understand yourself better, to recognize what you truly need in love, and to consider the types of relationships you want to build. Stoicism encourages you to view loneliness as a means of enhancing emotional intelligence. This feeling can help you gain more insight into your emotional needs, the expectations you have in relationships, and how you can meet them without relying on others. This helps you mature and become stronger in romantic relationships while also gaining a deeper understanding of yourself. Stoicism not only promotes independence and self-reliance but also values equality in all relationships. Feelings of loneliness in love sometimes arise from the sense that you are not being treated fairly, or from an imbalance in sharing emotions and responsibilities within the relationship. Stoic philosophy helps you understand that love should be an equal connection between two people. Each individual has the right to grow and maintain autonomy within a relationship without feeling coerced or emotionally deprived. When you practice this mindset, you will realize that feelings of loneliness are not caused by a lack of attention from others, but by your failure to recognize your own rights and worth in the relationship. Stoicism stresses the importance of self-love. This does not mean being selfish, but taking care of and appreciating yourself. One of the key principles of this philosophy is not to seek validation from others, but to find your own value. When you love yourself, you won't feel lonely even without a romantic partner by your side. Feelings of loneliness in love can easily overwhelm you when you fail to appreciate yourself. When you practice self-love, you will see yourself as an independent and valuable individual, not needing approval from anyone else. This helps you feel whole, even in moments of solitude, because you understand that your worth does not depend on the presence of others. Stoicism teaches that true love is unconditional. In love, you don't need to love someone because they meet your expectations, but simply because you love them. When you love unconditionally, you no longer worry about whether the other person loves you enough or if they can stay with you for a long time. Feelings of loneliness no longer hurt because you have learned to love freely, without depending on anyone. Loving unconditionally also helps reduce feelings of abandonment or emotional deprivation. When you realize that love is not a transaction but a free connection between two souls, you will find peace even in moments of loneliness. Your love is not influenced by external factors, but is based on freedom and sincerity. Conclusion. Stoic philosophy provides a new approach to love, encouraging you to face feelings of loneliness with a calm attitude and deep awareness. You learn to look inward to understand the source of these emotions, rather than blaming others or seeking external fulfillment. Through this, you gradually achieve freedom in relationships, meaning love that is independent and unbound, leading to a more sincere and complete love. The journey of seeking and confronting loneliness is not an easy one, but through each step of learning, you will see that what you truly need for inner peace is already within you. Stoic philosophy helps you realize the value of loving and cherishing yourself, maintaining emotional balance, and building love based on maturity and inner peace. When you know how to face loneliness with resilience, you will no longer fear this feeling. Instead, you will see loneliness as a natural part of love, a catalyst for self-exploration and deeper relationship growth. From there, you will no longer seek love with dependency or fear, but love with freedom and deep awareness, which is what Stoic philosophy aims for in love. In the end, loneliness in love is truly an opportunity, a challenge to help you discover and build a stronger, more lasting relationship. When you understand and practice Stoic principles in love, you will find that the feeling of loneliness is no longer something to fear. Instead, it becomes a peaceful part of the love journey, helping you mature and fully enjoy the meaning of love. If you find this video interesting and helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and share it to help everyone grow together. Also, feel free to leave your comment below so we can have more discussions. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next videos. Wishing you success and happiness on your journey.